Hola, hola, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. It's good to see you all. Want to salute to everyone who's liked so far. We got people in the building. As you come in, please keep liking. It's been an interesting weekend. It's a holiday weekend, and the internet has not taken a vacation. The internet is
Not at
really hard
all.
at work. It's wild.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is the last day of the month, and we wanted to wrap up this month. I know we've been saying, that the update was coming up, but honestly, every time we go to do it, other things happen, things that need to be included, things that need to be addressed. And yeah, so here we are. I think we've finally gotten to the point where we can address things. All right, let's just say hey to a few people in the building. Oh, thank you, Puffin. Appreciate you. You can't get a membership no matter what you do. I don't understand why not. Like, what is going on? Why do they make it so hard to become a member here? I have no idea. But what I will say is if you have a laptop or a desktop, you might want to try it through there. Or if you still have access to an Android phone, iPhone, they don't. It's no bueno. So we got Azalea's in the building. Hey, what's going on? We got Shannon. Hey, Pat. Thank you, Kimberly. Jennifer Sofranco, good to see you. Happy Labor's Day. Yeah, 32 years ago, I was in labor on Labor Day. That's so wild.
Mm.
You loving the hoodie? Here it is. And guess what? It's cruelty free.
Right. You think I should make those that bigger, like
Well, if you're
the
going to do
cruelty
ones without a
free?
face, yeah. If you're going
No,
to
no,
do
no. The
ones
ones
without the
without the
artwork.
face, the ones without the artwork is straight up just cruelty free, and then
Yeah.
I'll add the QR code.
Hmm. I hope so. I hope everyone can get one. And I hope everyone enjoys rocking it. I'll tell you one thing, they feel good. It's so funny though, because this one is so big on me. I wasn't expecting it to be this big. Everyone talks about how I'm huge and how I'm obese. And that's funny because this is a large and I'm swimming in it.
Yeah, I need to get you a medium, but I figured just get you a large. I mean, hoodies are supposed to
Well, no,
be
I
a little
always
baggy
like a
anyway.
large hoodie, but this is huge. I can almost rock this like a mini dress.
Right. Well, it's
So
Bella Canvas, and it's good quality.
it feels good too. It feels really good. So I told y'all I was gonna be going live wearing this very soon, and as promised, here I am. Yeah, real sizes. This is a large, and I'm swimming in it. Like I gotta do all of that to tighten it up. Tighten it up. Mm-mm. Um, but yeah. So who else do we got in here? Yam J's in the building. We got Black Panther Creative in the building. What is this? Small print. Yeah, cruelty free. Yeah. So what is can we get this color with cruelty free on the middle of it? I don't know.
I can arrange those. It's really the ones with the cruelty free will just be black, but I can arrange to get that color gray, and cruelty free in the middle. Yeah.
So yeah. See, we got questions. We got questions. We got questions. Shannon, hey Shannon. Where are receipt? No, where the receipts? Hey, lovely Roy, what's going on? All right, so
Fooch 3, Fooch 3E. Your truth stood the test of time. Been watching you last 4 or 5 years, and you're still standing on your sword and shield. That's what's up.
thank you, Fooch. You know, it's so wild because people you see, I know why the industry be lying. I know why the internet be lying. I do. And it really all comes down to something really simple: money. Money and collusion.
And
It's
protecting other
yeah,
assailants.
yeah. So I was looking up Rico for dummies. And what it says here is the racketeer influenced and corrupt organizations, RICO Act, is a federal law designed to prosecute individuals involved in a criminal enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity. Instead of charging individuals for single crimes, prosecutors use RICO to charge multiple people for crimes committed to achieve a common criminal goal. Key elements for a RICO charge include an enterprise, a pattern of at least two predicate acts, specific crimes, within 10 years, and an impact on interstate commerce. Penalties are severe, including significant prison sentences, large fines, and forfeiture of all ill gotten assets. Let me say that again. Penalties are severe, including significant prison sentences, large fines, and forfeiture of all ill gotten assets. I think people keep forgetting about that part, the forfeiture of all ill gotten assets. I see feet. You know, I just wanted to really talk about that, the forfeiture of ill gotten assets. I can't hear you. So, I mean, I can hear you, but I can't hear
Oh,
you.
speak on it. Go ahead. My bad. I muted.
So my question is so does that mean like if you have a criminal enterprise and you're doing business with like a lot of different businesses and people were involved in those businesses and crimes were committed over state lines with those businesses that even the other businesses that they're doing businesses with could be sanctioned? Is that what that means? I wonder. Asset forfeiture. I mean, Diddy had a lot of business with a lot of people, made a lot of money in a lot of different ways. And a lot of it was attached to his enterprise. So I'm just, I mean, everything attached to Bad Boy, everything attached, like, it's a lot. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of people that were attached to the Bad Boy brand label, etc., whatever you want to call it.
A lot of
Uh,
abuses.
a lot of abuses. Hence, one clout chasing struggle channel content creator who, I mean, he's a damn Diddy minion. So therefore, they have their assignments to discredit, to go after certain people who are talking about, hey, just going after the truth essentially. So you got, I mean, I'm not going after the truth, but speaking the truth. So these people are going after all types of whistleblowers and people who have something to say. So it's a discrediting campaign that they have, that they're pushing, because they don't want to be caught up in the retribution.
Are you talking about like content creators that like appeared in Diddy documentaries,
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about how they got family members internships
Mhm.
with the diddler?
Yep.
And if I'm correct, it was a nephew that it was later discovered he refused the diddler. He didn't want to go and party with him,
Right. He
and
didn't want
that's
to
why
get
he
down
got
with the
fired.
get down. Yeah, he didn't want to get down with the get down.
He didn't want to be
So back to,
diddy-fied. He didn't want to be freaked off on.
he didn't want to be glazed up in
Mm,
that baby oil.
mm. Or the body excrements,
Oh,
the
ugh.
ejaculates. That's funny because that's just funny that you would do an interview exposing that and then turn around months later after the case is over and defend the same person that SE actually harassed your own nephew. Because see, that's what that was. That's exactly what that not were, what that what that id. Unless your nephew is a liar, then
Well,
that would
you
mean,
gotta
hmm?
you gotta peep. Like, for those who don't know, you can go to my channel and you could see who we're referencing. Appreciate you. We woke now. We appreciate that. Wow, he or she, $50. Appreciate you.
Thank
But
you.
you can go over to my channel to see exactly what we're talking about, who we're referencing, etc. But the point that I was going to make is this certain content
Thank you,
creator,
man.
um, you know, put him in touch or had him working for Diddy, got him hooked up with an internship with Diddy, and then when it all came out down to it and he got fired, you notice how he stated, because he said it himself, family reached out and were like, they didn't want to say nothing. So don't look, their family's probably been looking at them kind of side eye, like, why, what's up with that? Why did you. I mean, you get what I'm saying?
Why did it end? Why did it come to an end? I didn't want to go party with him. I didn't want to let him freak off on me. That's your family. I don't know. Maybe you just made it all up so you could be in the documentary. I don't know. I have no idea. What I do know is that y'all should go over to Set in the West and see the receipts of the Black Christopher Lloyd in
Hmm.
full swing. You know, it's wild because somebody came through and left a comment on another video asking whether or not I had seen or was responding to that foolishness. I don't know why. I don't know why people want that. You know, for me to go out of my way to give people engagement, because see, that's how it works. I say something about it, I do a video about it, and then 20 other content creators get to do a reaction to it. Why should I help them? They don't help me. Like, why should I help him? Why should I help Christopher Lloyd? The Black Christopher Lloyd. Why? Why should I help his channel grow? I mean, he sat over there on TikTok running a whole Jaguar Wright smear campaign for months. Now he's over here doing the same exact thing. I didn't respond to him on the TikTok. Why would I respond to him here? He was over on TikTok for like 6 months with my name all up in his mouth. Why you all in my grill? Mm, I don't know. If I didn't respond on the TikTok, why would I respond to you? I don't respond to predators. And you can go over to Set in the West and you can see the receipt for yourself. I mean, the truth is that video should be sitting at least 10,000. Like there should be as many people running over there to see the truth about that weirdo as the people that went to go see him lie about me. I love it how people say stuff like, well, I talk to people that have known her for so long. Like who? Who'd you talk to? You ain't mentioned no names. Who'd you talk to? I'd like to know. But then again, chances are I probably already do. And if you talk to these people, why didn't you interview them? That would have given it more gravitas. Why couldn't you get a soundbite or a statement? I don't know. Yeah. See, when
Well,
somebody comes with that little intel, with that little, like, no receipts, you just want to take inflammatory clips pulled from here. Yes, please look both ways before you cross my mind. Like, like something other than my content, or should I say, this man's content. Like, not only is you free jacking, but you capping. Who's going to respond to that?
now wouldn't it be interesting because we're talking about receipts? Wouldn't it be interesting if I went ahead and got you in contact with the actual harassment victim that he has, the
Oh, the
person named
makeup
Danny?
artist?
Yeah, wouldn't it be interesting if I was able to reach out to that individual and
Ten,
we
ten.
could
I would
talk.
love. Now,
Well,
see,
let's
that
see.
would be a
Let
response. Now, that
well
would be
let
a worthy response.
now let's see. Let's just see if he keeps it up because I've already called him out. I'll get that video taken down. I'm gonna let him eat a little bit, but I'm gonna get the video taken down because he actually used my content
Hmm.
without my permission. to do what he needs to do. So we're gonna
Yeah,
see
but the
how this all
content
plays
that
out.
he used came from the Pierce Morgan interview, the infamous Pierce Morgan interview, where I made some very realistic claims. Very realistic claims. Now, if I pull up Beyonce drummer files for restraining order. Hmm. See, this is Google. This is Googleable. Alleging extreme witchcraft. Kimberly Thompson reportedly claims that she suffered from Beyonce's magic spells of sexual molester behavior.
Mm.
Kimberly Thompson, former drummer for the Baby. Magic spells of sexual molesting. Oh yeah, and that she unalived her kittens. This is Google. Googleable. I guess Pierce Morgan didn't read that article. You wanna know what's even funnier? Like 7 months ago, there was an AI video of Kimberly Thompson saying that I lied on her. How wild is that? An AI video of that woman saying that I made it up when I reported on her. I didn't even say her name. See, I'm clutch. I'm clutch for a reason. I'm hella clutch for a reason. There's a reason why I don't say certain things at certain times because I want to see how people are going to run with it, flip it, remix it, and do all the stuff that they do. I talked about this on the blue couch. That's funny. Why he didn't use that clip? He using clips from the blue couch. He using clips from our exclusive content. He ain't see that. Hmm? See, I'm not a fool. The plantation managers, they skipped the notification for you today. Hmm. Kimberly Thompson, Beyonce's former drummer, has filed for a civil harassment restraining order against Beyonce. The blast reports and viewed, court records viewed by Pitchfork confirm. Okay, so these are court records that would make this public information, yes? Wow. According to documents obtained by the blast, Thompson alleges that Beyonce is practicing extreme witchcraft and magic spells of sexual molestering. Hmm, to harass her. Among other allegations, Thompson also claimed that Beyonce unalived her pet kitten. Here, kitty, kitty. Whoo, that takes
Mm.
on a whole new meaning. Um, Records viewed by Pitchfork show that Thompson had a request for a temporary restraining order denied by Los Angeles Superior Court on September 19th. There is currently a restraining order hearing scheduled for October 11th. Now, when was this? This was in 2018, 7 years ago. 7 years ago. So then an AI video comes out less than a year ago, supposed to be Kimberly Thompson saying that I lied on her and that I made this whole thing up. I don't know. You know, Kimberly Thompson had a lot of things to say. All accusations I survived are real, she wrote. Along with her work with Beyonce, Kimberly Thompson also played drums for the Fred Armisen led house band for the fifth season of The Late Show with Seth Meyers. Like she had a really credible, a really, 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 really credible career. Hmm. It's funny. She's a native of Philadelphia who moved to Brooklyn. I'm from Philly too. She made it very clear that in the SE actual stuff that was going on, she was being, you know, partied on against her will. Isn't that what I said on Pierce Morgan?
Yeah, you did.
But I'm a liar. That's interesting. Huh. You know, I also said that they got all kinds of stuff going on over at Rock Nation. And then here comes the Damore Hadley story. I'm really sick and tired of people calling me a liar. But I understand it comes along with the game. Now, before we get into the nitty grit, we've been here warming up the room for almost 30 minutes. I'd appreciate at least another 350 more likes. That would be great. We should be able to get at least 500 likes. We're 300 and some change short. I know why the industry be lying. You know, there was also some other comments made about the freak offs, and I was wrong about it because it only happened with a couple of people, right? It only happened with like three or four of Diddy's paramours. That was it.
Yeah. And this is what he said. According to court documents, that's what he
Mhm.
said.
According to court documents, which everyone now knows were heavily redacted,
Hmm.
there was a ton of information and evidence that didn't come out. You know, when Homeland Security first did a inventory list of what they acquired in their seizure from all the homes, thousands of tapes, not dozens, thousands.
Thousand.
You think thousands of tapes, and it was only Cassie, Daphne, the Jane Mia person. Like it was just these couple people. There's no way. All of those tapes only had those few people on it. They would have been unalived with that kind of physical trauma that was going on in them parties. I, I just don't understand it. I think that people think because something didn't go on the court record means it didn't happen, and that's not true. Anyone who believes that what happened in that trial is all that happened, I got a bridge in Brooklyn. I can sell it to you right now. Hook me over with a $5 cash app and it's yours. Like for real. The judge has also spoken on several occasions in the midst of him going through everything because he doesn't want to rely on the jury's verdict solely because he feels as though they didn't follow instruction. Like I don't understand because the judge has seen all of the things that were redacted, all of the things that the prosecution chose to keep out. And since the trial, there's 100 new civil cases that has nothing to do with Cassie or Daphne or the Jane Mia or the whoever. Nothing to do. And even the black Christopher Lloyd himself said that his own nephew was approached. I mean, but I guess it's not that big a deal because he knows how to make people feel uncomfortable. He likes talking about his bodily fluids all over people's faces, right?
Mm.
Did he want somebody to rub it on his nipples and he wants to smear his all over somebody's face? Like that's what you do at work? Huh? I mean, for those who want to see the receipt, all you have to do is go over to Set in the West and look at the video. The receipt is in there of what the black Christopher Lloyd did to a woman. So to all content creators who are looking to use this as content and looking to find a way to, do videos about what he had to say about me and the way he's coming after me, um, do know this: you're platforming the opinions of a predator. Like that poor woman actually had to get a chaperone to come in while she was working on you because you was just so off the chain, asking her how many times, she getting, you could find me in the club. I'm in there having, I ain't into making love. Like you all up in her business. That's what you do. That's who you are. That's wild. But that's also standard practice for a lot of men that I've known in the entertainment industry because that's what a lot of the men in the entertainment industry do. They SEXual harass every woman that they're around. I've had it happen to me. And it's just okay. I could see why somebody like that would defend Lonnie Lynn. I never lied about what happened. I was very clear about what happened. I gave the details of everything that happened. I have not, my story never changed. It is what it is. I was asleep and he wanted to stick an almost invisible thing in my mouth without my consent or permission. That's what happened. You got a makeup artist that had to go tell on you because you was so out of control with your reckless little mouth. You want to turn into ET and do an anal probing? That's what you got going on? And people are supposed to trust what you got to say about me. Interesting. No wonder you wanted to bring up that situation with Lonnie Lynn. Cause y'all on the same kind of time. Birds of the feather, crap all over people together, straight pigeons. It's kind of wild. We're still a little short on those likes, about 225. Once we get to 500 likes, we're going to get into the updates because it's going to get, yeah, y'all need to go over to Set in the West and y'all need to see those receipts. There's also another receipt over there, me sitting on panel talking with a woman who is not black. Because it's funny, people say that I only go after black entertainers. Not true. I've had many things to say about Clive Davis. I've had a few things to say about someone who's the head of things around here in YouTube, works with Google. I call him Ra's al Ghul. He mentored the Jigga Man to take over his job as head of Def Jam once upon a time. When Rihanna was brought into the country as a minor without parental supervision, her father, who was recently deceased, may he rest in peace, he came up later. Yep. Yeah, but like Rihanna, this woman was young, from South Africa, broken family when she started being essayed. And a lot of that happened before she got her record deal. Eh, it's wild because her assailants weren't black people, they were white. See, a predator is a predator. It doesn't matter what color they are. I address the people that I address because they are the people that were in my vicinity. But as I start talking to other survivors, they start corroborating other things that I have said. It's wild to me. It's wild. Your honesty and feminine energy shines bright. A selfish person would just take the bag and yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree, Puffin. But they offered me money to be quiet. They offered me money 5 years ago. They offered me money 3 years ago. I said no. I said no. Truth is more important. So yeah, I just, God bless all of you content creators that are out there. Um, you know, giving credence and light to a man who goes to work and thinks that it's cool to sexually harass somebody there just trying to earn an honest living. Ask them all about their personal life, who's been in and out of their body, how many times they get it, whoop-de whoop-de woo, how they like it, how they imagine their bodily fluids all over that person's face. Y'all wanna take his word for it? Okay. It sounds like with his track record, he's got every reason to lie on me. But see that Rico thing. Let's get back to that Rico thing.
Rico.
Suave. It's like getting Vietnam. Yeah, flashback. Yeah, yeah. It is. The trauma. It is. But it's cool. It's just it's the same thing all of the time. The people that they had here on YouTube to try to discredit me saying the same crap he's saying, it ain't working with them no more. So I guess they thought that they would level up. But I just want everybody to know, for the 20 some odd thousand subscribers that he has over there, you're supporting a predator. And for everybody over there on TikTok, you're supporting a predator. That's why I don't address him. He doesn't deserve to be addressed. He's a predator. Auntie Jag and Uncle Odell, thank you for all you do. Chinzy. Oh, we're here for you guys because our generation's screwed. We trying to put y'all up on game. Like, I want y'all to think about that. Like, he's got 20,000 subscribers over here on the Black Christopher Lloyd. Y'all helping support a predator. 777. I'm the same age as your mom. Last of a dying breed. No, for real. It's 1977, baby. That's my year. But seriously though, it's alarming how many predators get support online. So let's talk about Rico. So has anybody ever taken into consideration, if Diddy had have gotten convicted, how much of the industry would crumble? Because his hands was in everything. And he was doing business with a lot of people. And if you just go and you look at the allegations in the civil lawsuits, I don't know. Revolt TV might have taken a big hit, especially considering that Carisha was over there, had a job over there, just like Cassie was signed to the record label, and was sitting there talking about how she enjoyed um the Diddy lemonade being sprayed all over her. Yes, yes, society is being set up to love and to tolerate and protect psychopaths. Sure is. They're trying to normalize this weirdo behavior. Yes, they are. One Black Christopher Lloyd ant people, reject looking ass fools, yeah, at a time. Yep. Yep. Sure are. Most of the industry is highly perverted, really sick, um, and very demonic. But for people to sit there and constantly call me a liar when all I've done is tell the truth. Oh, hey, Nat, welcome. Welcome here. Welcome to Jag Country. No, but for real, like, can y'all imagine how much of this industry and then the ill-gotten gains thing? Bunch of companies might have taken a hit. See, not letting that Rico go through, it saved the diddler and the industry because they need that money to keep moving around. And with all of the alleged money laundering um, that people have rumored is happening, that would hurt a lot. Oh no, my eye is okay. It's just allergies. That's all. Seriously though, it's wild to me that people aren't looking at that. This isn't about protecting Diddy. This is about protecting the industry. See, that was the difference with R. Kelly's case because he had a bunch of tapes, he had a bunch of victims, and he was in a RICO by himself, just like Diddy was. But R. Kelly's whole little setup was really centralized pretty much to just himself. He wasn't involved in a bunch of different businesses and a bunch of different corporations. It was a lot easier to contain his situation. So, yeah, him and Diddy, very different. Diddy goes down on a RICO, the money stops, and then they get to open up the books on multiple corporations who he was involved with. Yeah, that hurts. And at the end of the day, that's what the industry cares about the most. They care about the money. It's about protecting the money. I'm looking at all of the so-called sponsorship deals, like Diddy Epstein, same client list. I believe so. I believe so, in my opinion. And I do believe in the near future, there's going to be some things that are about to come to light. A lot of people are being attacked. A lot of whistleblowers are being harassed, receiving unalivement threats, all kinds of stuff. It's a lot going on. So yeah, I'm not going to be going back and forth doing reaction videos to every weirdo who gets online saying something about me. It's insane. I'd never stay offline. And then not only that, it only creates more content for these other weirdos to just keep doing reaction videos so that they can make money. See, there used to be a time where I would get on Instagram and I would say what I would have to say. And then all of these YouTubers, hundreds of them, probably thousands, would go and take my videos and then they would come over here and make money off of it. So now, since I'm not doing that anymore, and I'm being heavily suppressed on Instagram. They got to force a way to get me to respond here so that they can do a fair use reaction commentary and whoop de whoop de whoop. And it's just not happening. See, that really sucks for them, huh? That must really suck for them. They had it all worked out. They had the content creators that pretended to be pro me, the content creators that absolutely hated me, and then they would go back and forth arguing about me. Meanwhile, all they would have to do is go to Instagram and take my content, never have to pay me a dime while they were making thousands upon thousands of dollars a month, building their platforms off of my name and negative engagement with me. I guess somebody told the Black Christopher Lloyd that because I guess he thinks that's what he's going to do. Sorry, PDFer, not gonna happen. Sorry, Predator, it's not gonna happen. You're gonna have to find another way to grow your channel. I would say you need to tell all those people over there at TikTok that you've been lying to about me to come over here, but it looks like they're not following. So I guess you ass out. So we're almost, yeah, we're at 50 minutes. We are short about 120 likes so we can get into the rest of the business that needs to be done. You know, a lot of these people are afraid of Ricos, a lot of them. And they should be, because that just kicks over the pot and it's a domino effect. It'll go from company to company to artist, brand to brand. Nobody wants that to happen. That's why they're all fighting so hard to keep it quiet. That's why the objective was everybody, don't say nothing, don't say nothing, don't say nothing. Hey, welcome. Don't say nothing, don't say nothing, don't say nothing. We're just gonna blame it on Diddy and a couple of girlfriends, and then that's what that's gonna be. And then we're gonna pretend like none of this ever happened. So this way people won't see the industry as weird. Because the truth is from the second that Diddy got locked up, numbers on streaming, numbers on revenue, brand deals, all of that stuff is gone. They needed to go back up. Am I wrong, Odell?
No, you're right.
I mean, what do you got to say about this? I've been talking for a minute. How about you take over for a second?
Well, what I've been doing while you were busy and cooking, I was cooking too. Um, Side note, the I think well, I pretty much have the final QR code for the hoodie. So I'll show it to you, but I'm pretty much getting it all together right now as far as what we're gonna do with the um the merchandise and how interactive we're gonna make it. But we'll discuss that because I'm gonna go live in a couple hours and we could talk more about that too because
Mhm.
that's more in line with what we're on. But overall though, it's yeah, it's very interesting. And I just say that you know, what we got to do is keep holding these individuals to the fire, feet to the fire. And you know, in my video, I essentially was just breaking down. Oh well, you know, what's the reason? Why would someone come after you? Why would someone come after Liz Crook? Shout out to Liz.
Salute to
Um,
Liz Crokin.
yeah, like why are people so gun ho on attacking people who are just basically just trying to get information out there? Um, he, called you a conspiracy theorist,
Mhm.
but the reality is madness. The
Ah,
opposite of conspiracy, the opposite of a conspiracy is the reality, and the theory isn't a theory. It's the madness that's really happening, and that's why in my video I highlighted the person you were on panel with. And people have been asking, "Oh, where's the rest of it?" So it'll be on your Patreon. I don't think, let's not put this on your YouTube. You could
no,
probably
I'm
put
not putting
clicks
it
on
on
it.
there because we used a bunch of language that won't get cleared anyway. We talked
Yeah,
real talk and real
it was
things were said, and I'm not leaving that for a bunch of YouTubers to try to sit there and manipulate it and chop and screw it. And no, no, you're gonna have to go over to the Patreon to see it. There's gonna be a lot
you're
of
right.
other real stuff that's gonna
In
be going
fact,
up on Patreon as well. We getting
in
close.
fact,
We about 51 away. We about 51 away before we get to the real.
yeah, but no, no, no. Yeah, the information, the panel, the topic, all that was very interesting, sad. People were just gasping, like, "Wait, what?" And this isn't stuff that you made up, and this is not someone y'all talked briefly, but I mean, her story was 100% on point, real. This is her testimony to attest to what you've been saying. So for a person to come out like him, and then he has that crazy background with what he did to that makeup, or ain't no telling who else is in the wings that just is scared to talk because intimidation is something that they do in the industry as well. They'll try to intimidate people, victims, not to come out and say anything, just like you referenced, where it's like, well, you see what happened to this person, you don't want it to happen to you. But no, but for anybody to come forward and just attack, like I said, you were attacked online, and then he's just a new person
He's the
that's he's been
he's
on
the
he's
he's
been
the
on
next.
TikTok.
Yeah,
He's been on TikTok. Now he's like, okay, I'm gonna bring it over to YouTube. I'm gonna shut it down. I want
I
y'all
think
to
they
check out
tapped
it.
him in. Honestly, I
Yeah,
think the YouTube mafia tapped him in because we cut through the rest of them. The old Jaguar Wright sector trolls and all of that. They was like 40 some odd deep, and now it's just like three of them left holding on,
yeah. It's
trying
it's
to,
it's
and they're not
they're
holding
they're
on. They moving on.
they're looking real weak. They've looked real defeated. They're recycling old things to talk about.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense for them to say, "Oh, okay, yeah, let's tap in someone who's a little bit, and he's a quote unquote journalist. This is what they're calling him, a journalist." And I'm like,
But a
okay,
journalist that likes to use his bodily, wants to spread his bodily fluids all over people.
well, you can't spell journalist of his ilk. You can't spell journalist without ANAL. How about that? Um, but yeah, that's why it's the appropriate name that you call. And we're not gonna give him, you're not gonna say his name right now, but y'all know. Like I said, if y'all go to my channel, y'all see who we're referring to.
That's the Black
Um,
Christopher Lloyd.
yeah, very interesting. But he went on the attack. Um, as soon as your affiliation with America's
He's
Future
like a caramel
came,
colored praying mantis.
yeah, he looks very insecty.
And Poffin, you are right. There is a big change coming. There are new things that are happening. There are things that are coming. But that's the thing. It's patience. You know, there's so many times I've seen things and I've wanted to come forward and have things to say. There's so many times I've wanted to come forward and be like, but Didi got a podcast. Yeah, he finally made it to 100K. We're hopefully we're right behind him. Um, he's an interesting young guy. There's a lot of you guys that I watch. I can't say that I agree with everything that everyone has to say, but I can appreciate people's perspective. And I share the things that I think are, yes, the future is going to be based on our frequency, what we're putting out there, which is why I think it's going to be very interesting where we're going with how we're going to be sharing music in the future. I like the plan that we're on, and I can't wait to talk about it more later on Set in the West. And we're getting there. We're getting there. We're about 75 away before we get to the main topic. Um, I think you're only allowed to like one at a time, but you can do reactions and you can create all kinds of engagement. You can send up the little what are the hyro what's things, the arrow things, and you can do all kinds of things here. Or you can leave a super chat or not or whatever. Um we like to keep the engagement up, and of course the more members that we have, the better the engagement is, because the truth is I don't leave it open for all of the weirdos to come in and do a bunch of crazy stuff. I don't. I like for the sanctity of the chat to be respected. And we have a good chat. And you guys are getting to know each other and we're building the community, and it's so much better. It really is
And
so
what
much
we're
better.
gonna do, how we're gonna move in the future, because I know a lot of people are, Jag could do this every day, and I think as far as informing y'all and letting y'all know what it is, she should. But I think for the most part, you know, the real exclusive content, the real exclusive conversations will more than likely be held over on Patreon. So it's not like she's not going to be here, but I think getting on over there because yeah, a lot of things are happening, and I think we y'all need to be abreast of what's about to transpire. So a
Mhm.
lot of things, lots of things.
So I don't know how close you are to having all of the other things that we'll be sharing for our main topic, but we're about 60 away. And
Yeah,
we're gonna
give
get
me one
into
second.
we're gonna be getting into the update regarding uh justice for the Hadleys. I'd be lying to say that I haven't noticed that there has been an uptake or an uptick in Jag hate since we started this story. But driving and listening, love you, Jag. Oh, thank you so much, Kat. And love you too. Love on you, Margie. We are a family here. We do love each other and support one another. Um, I'm not sure if we have mods in the chat or where the mods are, if they're around or not, but if you should see any links from any of our neighbors here, Jaguar Country, and the adjacent to this new algorithm, please make sure that you follow them. Natanya Rubin, Archangel Michael, Auntie Leah, of course, she's growing so fast now. Jay Mizak, Ayasha Lachey Bay, the natural one. We have so many wonderful content creators that are attached to our little family. So, Nick's Mountain Goat, uh, love you too. I'm not going to stop. We're here. We're here. They fight us so hard. And they don't want this channel to be profitable. They don't want it to be successful. This is what I do for a living now. I share the truth and I make art when I have the time. It's funny. In less than a year and a half, I've had to move 4 times, getting doxxed, getting harassed. Uh, and you would think after all of that, I would have avoided a story like the Demore Hadley story. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. And when I see what's going on here online, especially here on YouTube, the way the story is being handled, I know I have no choice but to stay in the fight for this because I think we're one of the only um, platforms here that's really not getting involved into the smear campaign of it all. That's why our updates don't come more frequently. We could be talking about this every day. Let's just be honest. This story is that important. I could get online and I could be talking about this every day, every day, every day, every day. That's what your average content creator would do. They would sink their teeth into this story and they would make it content and they would go back and forth, back and forth. They would get into fights with other content creators to go back and forth, and then come back and who's got the best receipt and who's got this and who's got that. And we didn't want to do that. We didn't want to handle it that way. What we wanted to do was share information, encourage other outlets to share information, and for all of us to support each other in making sure that this story gets the attention that it needs. And it's wild because, in this update, we're going to be discussing the other court actions that have happened since the gag order happened, and the contempt order, and the sanctions order, and the fact that our content is being mentioned in court filings. Defending your freedom, the Demore Hadley story is literally being listed on court record. Isn't that wild?
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
But it's the way it's being mentioned that I have a problem with because they're saying that it's that we're a part of some kind of malicious and vicious smear campaign against Desiree Perez.
Yeah.
And I'm like, huh?
Yeah, that's so asinine. For them to
Crazy
even
work.
say something like that, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Not one point in time in the midst of that series, um, not once was she made fun of, was she disrespected. We have never asked Asheo, Margie. We have never asked anyone to go after them. We haven't asked anyone to harass anybody. We've asked everyone to keep them in prayer. We've asked everyone to share the story. That's it. That's not a vicious campaign. I don't get it. Do you know what I could consider a vicious campaign? I'm gonna show you what I consider a vicious campaign.
And yeah, I'm still looking. Give me a second, because
No, I know.
honestly, I'm like, I can't find the paperwork. It's weird.
Huh?
Did I send it to you? Because I could have swore I did. I'm sitting here.
You did.
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, where the hell? It wasn't via email.
No, it was
Yeah.
through
Yeah,
the
give me one
thing.
second. Yeah, I know. And I'm like, how come I can't find it?
That's
Just
weird.
give me a second, bro. This is
That's real
weird.
weird.
This is weird. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what I consider a malicious campaign. This video. This is what I consider a malicious campaign, a vicious campaign. We listened to her story, the viciousness against her. Exactly. But see, this video, do you guys remember when we did the AI breakdown over here? This story hit, and I grabbed that video and we got into it. Y'all remember? Step by step, slow motion. Yes, we watched it. Yes, we are, Nat. Very much so. Asheo. It's wild. I know. See, this is the thing. Of all the places that I saw this video, I didn't see it when it was on the news. When they talked about that story on the news for a brief moment, I didn't see this video on the news. I saw it all over social media. All over social media. Now, this was the evidence that was used to incriminate Javon Hadley, to paint him as a DV guy. Now, for those of y'all who have seen the series and know about the series, Demoria explained it perfectly, transparently, as embarrassing as it was for her. But she wanted people to know the truth. She's holding a Swiffer in her hand,
Hmm.
and she admittedly herself said she cracked him in the head with it. They had COVID. She had COVID. He was sick from something else. They were a normal American couple having a bad day, and it happens. And they were young, and they both come from backgrounds where they've dealt with heavy disappointment, abandonment, abandonment, whether by bad choices or just life circumstances. They've been through a lot. I guess that's why they're able to be the best of friends to each other the way that they are. But let's just be clear about this. This video was passed all over social media. And you want to know what's even wilder than that? There's another version of this video, guys. I didn't promote it too much because I didn't want to bring too much light to the person who was using it. But there was another content creator that was from the troll farm, and they had the cleaned up version that came 3 weeks after this version with the blurred and all of that, which is wild because you're not supposed to be able to show um DV or V videos on YouTube. Isn't that correct?
That's right.
Like if you show any kind of violent videos, usually your channel is struck for, right?
That's
Yet
right.
this particular content creator played the updated version of this video that didn't have any blur, that actually made it look like there was contact between Javon and Demore. It was kind of shocking at how desperate they were to pass. See, that's what I call malicious campaign.
Yeah.
That's what I call a vicious campaign. Because it was AI. And guess what? I can see why the news didn't use it either. Because they could have been sued for that by Demore and Javon. When I think about the first time I saw this video and the different channels that I saw it on, including Poetic Flacco, everyone kept saying the same thing. Oh, well, the reason why the mom went to these great lengths to do all of this and to do all of that is because her daughter wouldn't get away from this DV situation. And this guy is a bum. And he's a this and he's a that. You got to check the metadata, baby. Indeed, Pop. You got to check the metadata. Huh. Oh, thank you, Nat. We appreciate you as well. Thank you. See, this is what I consider a vicious campaign. And I know what it feels like to be the victim of an AI video. Somebody jumped in a comment the other day and brought up that AI video that Storm Monroe was trying to pass around. And then the second that it became clear that it was AI and nobody was backing down and he didn't want to have to take credit for it or produce the metadata, the next thing you know, Andre Turner Jr. starts running around, spreading the video, and then he sat with media takeout and tried to corroborate it as true. And so now there are content creators. Oh, well, she said this about Jay-Z and she said that about Jay-Z. And no, I didn't. Whatever I've had to say about the Carters, I've said about the Carters. I've never backtracked. What was it that somebody just recently said that? No, it was him. It was the Christopher Lloyd.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he say that I was silenced after Pierce Morgan?
Yeah, he did.
When? When was I silent? When did I stop saying anything that I've said? Haven't. I guess that's just what y'all need people to believe. Yeah, yeah. They sit there and they yes they do. They plan people's demises and they get paid for it. It is crazy work. I, Mirna, this is what they do. But that's why I had to get in this fight with this story. That's why I had to. I had to. There's no way in the world I was going to sit by and let them run this because I knew what they were running and I knew how harmful it was going to be. All right, guys, we're getting close. We're still a little short. It's taken us a while. I can't believe it's been what, an hour and 15 minutes and we still ain't at 500
Hmm.
likes. That's crazy work. Crazy work. I don't exactly, Pat. There's no need to backtrack. For what? For what would I backtrack for? I don't think people realize like this is it for me. I already hit the point of no return. This is where I stand in life. This is it for me for the rest of my life. I don't get to say, all right, yeah, I'm done telling the truth. And now I just get to go back to having a normal life again. No, my life is never going to be the same. And that's fine. I'm all right with that. I'm good with that because I'm doing it for something. I'm doing it for the right reason. Yeah, and there's no going back to the industry either. No. That hell no. Number one, even if I could, all they'd be doing is lining me up for my demise like they did Angie Stone, in my opinion, allegedly, whatever. Are we all forgetting that? Are we all forgetting what happened March 1st? 6 months. Don't nobody care about Angie no more. Huh? It's wild. They was online every day, running up the numbers. Oh, this and oh that, and we're gonna get justice for Angie and whoopty whoopty woo and yada yada yada. And you want to know what happened to me? I got dog piled on public panel. I got talked about all crazy. They had some racist weirdo calling me out of my name, some crazy white guy, while a bunch of black women was sitting on panel cheering it on. They was doing this. They was like, ain't nobody speaking about it no more. 11/11. Autopsy report comes out, and then it just on to the next dead celebrity, huh? They made all that hoopla. Still don't nobody know what's going on. I find it funny that things also started getting quiet around the time that people would be cashing in their insurance claims. Hmm. Like I guess people forgot all about that, huh? They just forgot. I didn't. It's weird how they take all of these different things and the demise and so on and so forth, and they use it as a distraction. Still don't know what happened. Oh, Tyler Perry got his big moment. He got to sit up there and yeah, and I want to know what this and that and Clive Davis. Yeah, Tyler, can you tell us what happened? Hmm? Can you? You was demanding answers at the funeral that you paid for it. You ain't want nobody to know you paid for it, which is funny because I don't ever like. Since when do you do charitable donations silently? You always brag about it. She passed on your 60th birthday. Yeah. I know he still ain't paid Monique. I'm just curious. She died in that sprinter van. She didn't die in that sprinter van. She was hit by a 18 wheeler. She wasn't hit by an 18 wheeler. She was here. She was there. She was everywhere. She's the busiest corpse I ever heard of in my life. I guess we forgot. Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish. Exact like they forgot about what happened to Angie Stone, huh? Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish. Exact like they forgot about what happened to Angie Stone. That's all it took. 6 months, and they got new content, don't they all?
They do.
I am going to be making an official. I'm going to be talking about that soon, Poffin. And RIP to Reggie Carroll as well. I haven't talked about that. I've just been watching, but I might have something to say about it. Everybody else is doing a lot of talking about it. What I will say that I do know for a fact, Puffin, is that Cat Williams has been cleared of any involvement in the unalivement of Reggie Carroll. That's what I know. Please spread the word. And now that that has been done, now I might have a little bit of something to say about it. I might have a little bit of something to say about it. And yes, condolences to Auntie Leah as well. She lost someone as well. Let's make sure we keep Auntie Leah in our prayers. I believe one of her cousins passed away. She's had a lot going on. She lost her mother not long ago, and now this. Yeah, there were so many stories and lies circulating. Yeah, I know. Just like with Malcolm Jamal Warner, like it's so funny. It's like the same. It's like a step and repeat. It's weird. Someone passes away. 80 trillion stories come. Same thing with Reggie Carroll. 80 trillion story about what happened to him. I- It confuses the public. People get fatigue, mental fatigue from trying to keep up. And then boom. He was a strong swimmer. Like I said, this is all content to these people. That's all it is. They don't care about the value of human life. They don't care about the people that are really grieving them. They don't care about what it's going to do to society. They only care about how it affects society. Because there's a lot of people that were making money off of those Angie Stone streams right after she passed away, but yet no real tributes. It just that, somebody came and sang a song on on that demonic ceremony they call the BET Award. It's really interesting. And this is what it is. This is what they do. Meanwhile, everyone's busy calling me a liar and nobody's getting to the truth about what they said they cared about. All right, well, we have officially made it over the threshold. How are we doing with those likes over there? How actually I know how we doing with the likes. How we doing with
You
the
got the
receipts?
likes. You got 520.
How we doing with the receipts?
For whatever reason, you know what? Is it here? I can't seem to find it. It is weird. Give me 1 second.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Because I'm
worst
gonna.
case scenario, we can talk about it, can't we?
Yeah, that's essentially where I was gonna say. We just basically
Yeah, we'll
talk
just
about
talk
what
about
it
it.
is. So I'm gonna continue to look here. Is this it? Hold on, because I don't want to pull up something and it's not the right
I know.
thing. You know what I'm saying?
We do got a
Um,
little we got a lot of wicked and evil entities online. A lot. But let's get back to this.
yeah, that's weird. And I've been looking. I'm not gonna you know, wreck my brain. But look, check it out.
Wait a minute. Do we have the post from Dr. Bober?
I think so.
Do we have that post? I think
There
people
it is,
need to
right there. I got that. You see? Dr. Bober, where you at? Can't fight for because we know you got the scat.
now this is
Your
interesting.
lies, your lies on hard. Yeah, this guy, he took a picture with the Broward Sheriff's Office, the Broward County Sheriffs. Um,
His
it,
Baker Act
yeah,
unit.
it looks like he's trying to intimidate.
Now, for those of you
Give
who
me
have
one
seen the
second.
series, for those of you who have seen the series, you know who Dr. Bober is.
Yeah,
Dr. Bober is the older white gentleman who was sitting there talking to the sheriffs. Yeah, okay, she's out of her mind, you know what I'm saying? She's an addict, pretty much. We're going to Baker act her.
yeah. So let me just break it down like this. Um, we basically had the defending your freedom title, and this is defending your freedom is what Jaguar Wright came up with for the series, and of course, I came up with the subtitles and things of that nature, but of course, everyone knows that the federal civil case lawsuit against Desiree Perez. She's the CEO of Rock Nation. And the case also includes other parties. Let me see, Dr. Daniel Bobard's included. I believe there's some police officers from a city in Florida. The Sig 9, they're included in it as well. A Rock Nation employee is included. So the allegations are her complaints around a false imprisonment, and Dr. Bobar is included in that part where the false imprisonment side of the
Keeping
game
people
is.
against their will. Isn't that what I said on
Uh-huh.
Pierce Morgan?
That's what you said.
Oh.
The complaints also centers around surveillance. If you look at the Defending Your Freedom series, she had shown that she had been followed by PIs, unlicensed PIs at that. She
Mhm.
also has in this complaint of her complaint involves hacking. She has shown us true evidence of her phone being hacked. Her phone being, she's in one state, and then all of a sudden she saw that her phone was cloned, and it all of a sudden it was at the Rock Nation's head offices in New York.
Headquarters.
Yeah, and also her
Not
complaint
only
centers
that,
around.
when don't forget the phone call was made from New York when her and Javon were arguing at her abuelo's house, and the witnesses came in who couldn't speak or understand English, trying to make it seem like there was a DV situation going on. The phone call didn't come from the witnesses there in Florida. The phone call came from her mother in New York.
Right. Yeah, and she also just talks about the misuse of mental health statutes like the Baker Act and the Marchman Act. And she says, and she's shown that she was wrongfully committed and targeted by Desiree Perez. So let's do a little update on the case because yeah, give me 1 second because I had a whole lot of other information. For whatever reason, it's conveniently not coming up. You know how that goes, though, right? Um, are you there? Hello?
Mhm. I'm
Yes.
here. I'm here. No, Poppin was saying that she saw somebody put up a video about me in a barbershop. And that's so interesting because that footage is from 2023
Hmm.
and it was orchestrated. I was gaslit. My second ex-husband was involved, and I was put in a hospital, and they tried to have me listed as schizophrenic, but unfortunately I was evaluated for 11 days and they had to let me go, and I was sane. The only thing that I suffered from is what I've always said I suffered from: PTSD, which is another part of the reason why they do not want me involved in this story, because there are so many details of what happened to me that happened to Demore. Unfortunately for me, the person that was supposed to be my spouse was in on it.
Mm.
See, that's the crazy thing about how these gaslighting attempts work. See, that's part of the reason why people don't like me and Odell working together. They don't like our partnership, one way or the other. See, these YouTubers who have been stalking me, harassing me, and defaming me have been inventing situations, just like situations were invented in Demore's life, at her job, being covertly evaluated by a cult uh, specialist. Like,
Yeah.
see, they had to have cooperating people to make it all work. So when they don't have a cooperating person that's close to you, who can also be a witness to your sanity, to your stability, that's a problem. So, what they want to do is do whatever they have to do to harass that person in your life away from you or out of your life so that they can control the narrative completely. Am I wrong, Odell?
Nah, nah, you're right. So let's get back to, and it's funny, it's like all of a sudden, see, that's why I keep tracking, that's why I keep track of what it is that I had before. So essentially, this is what I wanted to talk about, because we already laid out the fact that defending your freedom was mentioned in the case. The defamation and the media side,
Mm-hmm.
where Rock Nation sought orders against Demore over her counterclaims and social media activity.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, what happened is they mentioned Demore's social media activity involving this case and how she tried to bring awareness to the situation. They sanctioned her and her husband, I believe, and they forced
Yep.
them to pay $2,500 as an agreement, and
Mm-hmm.
also to take down particular social media posts that they made after the fact, after they were gagged. And the Defending Your Freedom series was mentioned, and it wasn't mentioned in a favorable light. The way they mentioned this, it was the fact that they stated that Demore was mentally unwell, and they also stated that the person who interviewed
Interviewed
Demore
her.
for that series is mentally unwell, and they made all types of other claims as well, and they said that there's a campaign being held online to spread lies, or they have this whole um, theory of like there's a conspiracy, man. There's a conspiracy of you know Demore reaching out to certain YouTubers and content creators to um, amplify, propagate her story. And they're saying it's a conspiracy. They're saying she's lying. And then they also wanted the body cam footage to be stricken from the case. They said they don't want any of that body cam footage to be used as evidence. And the reason why, I guess they said, oh, was because it was brought in too late. Um, yeah, these people are very. I mean, it sounds about as guilty as it's gonna be, and they're just doing whatever they can to cover their arse, to cover their tracks.
Well, what I'll
So
say is this. Calling someone mentally ill that's passed multiple psych evaluations and actually has a psych evaluation published online for the public to go and listen sounds like defamation and slander to me.
yeah, we're looking into all that.
But to say that there is a vicious campaign, um, no. A vicious campaign is taking AI footage and trying to prove that someone did something that they didn't do. That's a vicious campaign. That's nasty work. See, this is a vicious campaign. This is what a vicious campaign looks like. Turning someone into a villain who's not. Getting other people to spread it around. Now, see, if we had taken any of the body cam footage and we AI'd it to make it say a little bit more than what it said, if we had, AI'd it to make it look like, put dubs on it, that would have made it vicious, correct?
Right.
We didn't alter anything. Nothing was altered. what we showed is no different than that article that I showed you guys about Kimberly Thompson and Beyonce. This public record. So now public record is a malicious campaign.
Oh, I guess so. If you let them tell it.
This is body cam footage that came from police officers' body cams. How is that malicious? I mean, I can't understand why it would be a problem though. I can understand that because one of the officers, when they were at the farm, New Year's Eve, literally said Desiree Perez lied to the police.
Yep.
Well, the aunt, number one, her her private dick, what's his name? The Joe?
No, it's
What's his name?
God damn, I can't think, but he's a weirdo. Give me 1 second. I
Is
can
it
Jeff
Joe? Was
Brown.
it Joe?
Jeff
Jeff
Brown.
Brown.
Weirdo looking guy.
Jeff Brown. He said the aunt, Desiree Perez, the aunt, which he knows is a lie because he knows that that's Demore's mom. So he was already lying to the police. Then the police questioned him and said, yeah, but y'all said that she was being abducted. And you know that that's a lie. She wasn't being abducted. Well, I mean, the aunt said, technically, they was like, no, she's lying. We came down here speeding, rushing down here to come and get this girl because y'all said that she was being abducted and she's just out with her family. But that's malicious. Malicious against who? Nobody told that woman to lie about anything. Nobody told that woman to do any of the things that she did. This was all her choice. See, that's the beautiful thing about free will. But when it gets to the point where you get busted, cold busted, and you just want to rewrite history just enough to give you a little grace, hoping that you can get away with everything that you've done that's totally illegal, especially when you use government and your own corporate resources. I see, and that's in that RICO world. Meanwhile, this doctor wants to be removed from the lawsuit because he feels as though he shouldn't be attached to it because everything that he did in good faith. But she passed a pharmaceutical test with nothing in her system. She willingly offered hair so it could go back for the 90 days to prove that she had nothing in her system. And you still kept her detained. You took testimony from someone who had not been in her presence that lied, who was an employee of Rock Nation, who said that they witnessed Demore try to unalive herself the day before. Am I wrong?
No.
A Rock Nation employee who had not been around Demore at least since December of 2023 said that they witnessed Demore being suicidal and she tried to unalive herself.
Yeah.
I think the same employee that went to her grief counselor and tried to get her grief counselor to get on board with the idea of having her committed. This is an employee of her mother's company. Why? Nothing in her system. They had not been around her. And he's working on good faith. He got on the phone with someone who actually knew her, with someone who had actually been counseling her for years. This man here did not know her. This man here had never met her. He had never evaluated her. He got on the phone off camera, away from the body cam, so wouldn't nobody hear what he was saying, if I'm correct. I'm correct about that, right?
That's right.
Yeah. He made sure his conversation with the physician that had actually talked to her and actually evaluated her. You think they geo blocked you? That's wild, Puffin. That's wild. They be hating on us so hard over here. I'm trying to understand. He makes sure he goes away from the camera so can't nobody hear him trying to convince her actual therapist to go against her so that he can have her committed against her will. And when the doctor refuses to, he says, come on, just help me out here.
Yeah.
Help me out here. This guy, this guy, and his Baker squad. It's kind of disappointing how many black people are on that Baker squad. But seriously, good faith, good faith. And then he wants to get online. These are the people that, wow, help me salute these people.
Mm.
My goodness. Welcome, Christina. Welcome to Jag Nation. I'm just, because they are cops. Those are Broward Sheriff's officers. Those are sheriffs from Broward County, right next to Dade County, Fort Lauderdale, Broward, Miami, Dade. You know, it's kind of menacing, actually, when you look at that picture. Because to me, what that picture says is I can do whatever I want. I can write whatever I want to write down on paper and they'll enforce it. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's what that
Yep.
says to me.
Hmm.
Yeah, his posse. The Wyatt Earp of mental health. Good faith, right? Everything he did in good faith. Come on, help me out here. Yeah, we're Baker acting her today. Yeah, she's unstable, you know what I mean? She's on pharmaceuticals. Yeah, we're Baker acting her today. Like he said it like it was business as usual. And when you look at this picture, that kind of backs that up. But another content creator was following a story from someone who was a member of the Jackass staff that ended up in his life skills where Demore was as well. And he said that he was perfectly sober. And then he met up with a call girl. And then the next thing you know, he popped dirty and was
Mm.
forced to stay in Mr. Bober's facility, in Dr. Bober's facility. Now, see, he came up dirty. So, you know, that was that. Not Demore. She was held for 72 hours. She tested clean. And she was still Marchman Act after that, and then sent to this man's facility, Life Skills, where she continued to be negative and then interrogated, browbeat. For those of y'all who have seen the series, you already know. And for those of you who haven't, we suggest you go, please look up Defending Your Freedom. Please. Not enough people have seen that series. This isn't a campaign to defame anyone. This isn't a campaign to destroy anyone. This isn't a campaign to hurt anyone. This is to create awareness at the dangers of what happens when your opposition has more money and more resources and the ability to garner people to come and change your life. Because that's what happened. That's what happened. What is this, Jaguar? I don't know if you will consider this idea for the future, but it will be interesting to drop down the link for actual voice communication with chat room to get people's opinions. Hmm, okay, I'll look into that. I mean, the truth is I haven't been on StreamYard in a while, and I might come back in the StreamYard studio again. We like to make sure that we stay in the main algorithm because so many people don't get to find us. They don't get to see us. We get suppressed so heavily. And for whatever reason, StreamYard it doesn't really create that much access to the main algorithm. Uh but yeah, we're gonna Dr. Phil doesn't what she said? He Hey, does this guy even have a degree in psychology? Yeah, I know Dr. Phil isn't accredited. He isn't accredited. I do believe the doctor here is, but who knows? Who knows? I mean, her mama hires, security people that aren't accredited either, that aren't bonded either, and allegedly carry firearms. I mean, like this whole, yeah, justice for the Hadleys, justice for Ramir. They're all running. And let's just be clear, it always comes back to the money. This casino business that they're trying to get approved in Times Square. I'm sure all of these negative stories aren't helping them achieve that goal. Oh, you're talking about Telegram? I know a lot of people be on Telegram, but I don't know. Like a lot of scam artists be on Telegram too. I didn't become like aware of Telegram until like the pandemic and people were running all kind of money hustles. So oh honey. The doctor on Cam Newton was a doctor from university, not accredited. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, there's a lot of fakes and phonies that you're gonna find online. Meanwhile, they like running around calling everybody else liars and fakes and phonies. It's wild how that works, but every day there is something new. Every day there is something more weird. It is. It is. I tell you what. The thing that I think bothers me the most about all of this is these people are out here doing absolutely crazy, nuts, and insane things to innocent people, playing with people's lives, disturbing people's lives. Like when I think about everything that's happened to Javon and Demore for nothing more than separating them so a mother can have control over her adult daughter who has the right to make whatever choices she sees fit and necessary for her life. When I think about these images up here from that AI video and how that was disseminated and all of that went down, it makes me think about my own life and what's happened to me and the things that have happened to me. Odell has gone through his own vicious attack just because he knows me, just because we work together, just because they can't get him to turn against me, because they can't get him to get online like other people in my life and lie and tell lies about me, because they can't get him to go along with the gaslighting campaign and gaslight me into a mental hospital. And the taller you stand, the harder they come for you. They've really been kicking it up ever since we started working on this story. And I don't think that they're going to stop as long as we're on this story, but we're on this story. Before her gag order came in, we memorialized every detail to preserve her story. Because with the trial not coming until fall of next year, they're going to try every trick in the book to try to make people forget what actually happened. They're going to do whatever they had to do to keep things off of court record, just like they did in Diddy's trial, so that they could rewrite what actually happened in real time. They're going to play around with rights. They're going to play around with statutes. They're going to play around with this. They're going to play around with that and try to convince everybody that, like, the simple fact that they would actually have the audacity to say that Dumore is mentally not well and that I'm mentally not well. When we had an open conversation, she shared her facts and her details. We immortalized it and we made it possible for the public to be able to watch it and view it and see it as it is, for what it is. For that to be called malicious when it's nothing more than just good journalism and honest reporting with real facts and real details to back it all up. But the simple fact that they would refer to two people sitting there having a genuine, honest, transparent conversation as mentally ill, what it goes to show is that they're having a hard time dealing with reality, because the reality is that interview is thorough, it's coherent, it's compassionate, it's humane, and it's real. We ain't use no AI videos. We didn't go in and remix and chop and screw what was being said. We didn't do any of that. We used the raw footage for what it was. Yeah. Trying to demonize my character so people won't believe what they see when they see it. Yeah, absolutely right. Like, are you kidding me? What I will say is this: when you find people that work that hard and they laughed at the people that danced to the music that they couldn't hear. Yeah, yeah, that good one. That's a good one, Puffin. But like seriously, if what y'all saw in those interviews, in that interview, in that series was anything other than what it is, then that would mean that you're crazy. See, that would mean that you can't accept reality. You don't want the body cam footage in because the body cam footage is telling the truth, which means you have a problem accepting reality. And people that can't accept reality are called insane. Am I wrong about that?
Nah.
You have a woman put in a hospital for trying to unalive herself with pharmaceutical aid with no pharmaceutical in her system, which means you lied about a person. You created an entire tragedy and crisis that didn't exist. That would mean that you're insane. Not Demore, not me. It's wild. And then you want to go back and you want to make reference to me being gaslit and harassed on YouTube. Well, where did you see that at? Hmm? Y'all researching me? Really? I mean, what if we started researching you right back? Because as sloppy as Rock Nation has been proving to be as of recent, huh, I wonder how many other people would be willing to sit down with me and defend their freedom.
I'm sure there's plenty. I'm sure there's plenty.
You know, sometimes you push at something so hard that the inertia forces a reaction that pushes right back. See, this is the thing. I don't give two fucks about Rock Nation at all. Salute to Conway the Machine. I hope you get out of your record deal. Conway's sitting over there signed, one of the dopest MCs to date right now, out there rocking. Why won't y'all promote his stuff like you promoted the clips? I think he's been signed there longer than them. Like, Rock Nation is an abomination. as a record label, but then again, pretty much all the record labels are these days. But see, it's the stuff that y'all do with your resources to innocent people and to the community. See, that's what makes justice for the Hadleys, that's what makes it so necessary. Because y'all are so used to bullying people with your resources that you didn't have a problem with doing it to your own flesh and blood, just so you could get your way. You want to call people mentally unwell? Well, didn't they also deny having a camera? They denied the camera.
Yeah, they did.
Like, can y'all be honest about anything? The camera was facing their private, intimate area. And now you wanna deny that too? Well, where did the footage come from? Hmm? Hmm? How did the camera get there in the first place? Because they didn't put it there. People gotta wake up. Gotta wake up. Gotta do better. Gotta do better today. Gotta do better before it's too late. Do better. You want to sit there and you want to attack people, trying to make sure that people can have a voice. Because these kind of injustices, they shouldn't be happening at all. But the simple fact that they're being aided by doctors, police officers, private security companies, people that work for the and have worked with the NFL, like the NFL that Rock Nation is affiliated with. Like, but I'm mentally unwell? That's cute. And to any content creator that wants to jump on board with that, saying stuff like, don't associate me with those nuts, these nuts. How about that? Right here.
That's funny. It's coming out. When you talked about the situation, not to sidetrack
Mm,
that because that was funny, and I think we got to go a deeper dive into that whole little situation. But I'm looking at some stuff as well. It looks like in 2013 there was a situation about Alex Rodriguez with quadriceps strain, and Desiree Perez, she was acting as Alex Rodriguez's advisor.
mm,
She had pushed him to fight the diagnosis, and she brought in a doctor named Dr. Gross to read his MRI, and Gross claimed there was no strain and that A-Rod was fine to play. But the problem is, it says Dr. Gross had already been disciplined by the New Jersey Medical Board for failing to ensure proper patient treatment, including issues with prescribing hormones and steroids in the past. Dr. Gross gave a conflicting opinion from the Yankees team doctor without physically ever meeting A-Rod in person. Instead of protecting A-Rod, Desiree tied him to the doctor whose credibility was already in question. And within weeks, the Major League Baseball dropped a 211 game suspension on A-Rod in the in that scandal. Yo, I mean, it's a pattern. It's a pattern. See, no one's talking about, even in the Defending Your Freedom series, we're not talking about anything that Desiree Perez has done in the past. Her past. Well, her daughter did bring up the fact
No,
about
her daughter
her
spoke
being a.
about the history, the family history, which ain't her fault or ours. We didn't tell you to go off and play little Griselda. We didn't tell you to go play cartel and robbers. Like, that's the thing that I don't like. These are choices that this woman made with her own life. And then you want to get mad that people remember the things that you've done, or that your daughter speaks openly about the effect that that had on her life. Because it did have an effect on her life. Just like I'm sure it had an effect on your other children's lives. Being forced to go away to penitentiary, getting
Mhm.
getting off on probation, and then violating that probation and just having to go to jail all the same, having to take your child and drop your child off on your father's doorstep. No, nobody's rubbing that in your face. It's just reality. It's what happened. Your choices. We didn't sit there and call y'all kind of unfit moms. We didn't sit there and run down on you. Matter of fact, even when she says she no longer referred to you as her mother, I continue to call you her mother.
Mhm.
I gave you respect as a mother. Wow. Interesting. So she was representing A Rod. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, that's what she claimed. I'll send you the notes.
She
I will
was
send you the notes.
representing A Rod. A Rod was fighting being suspended because he had an injury and he wanted to continue to play with an injury. So she went out and found a doctor that had never met him, had nothing to do with him, to go against what the league had to say, what MLB had to say, so he could get back in there and get that money.
Mhm.
Interesting. You
Seems like
remember,
she just seems like she abuses her position. I mean, she just that's just Trump shouldn't she shouldn't have got a pardon in my opinion.
you want to know what I find interesting? I mean, Beyonce, she got the first of the Super Bowl halftime shows when Rock Nation took over, but it was Jennifer Lopez and Shakira that got the next one, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Or were they before or after the weekend? I think they were before. And
Yeah.
wasn't and Jennifer Lopez and A Rod was together.
Mhm.
Yeah. Interesting.
We're gonna tie all that together. Don't trip.
Hmm.
That's why I don't even. That's what I'm saying. When we got a year until it's about 13 months until it's time to you know for them to really go in on this case. There's so much to unpack
Mm.
surrounding everything that's involved with Rock Nation. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I'm going to look into that whole case about them calling you mentally unwell and how liable because I think y'all stay tight because I do remember someone included you in a lawsuit as well,
Hmm.
and some things are going to come up on that. We'll let it all play out, but I find it very interesting that you know April is when the time where Mr. Goofy McKnight, you ain't got to mention his name, um, filed his frivolous thing, and that's going to get answered too as well. And then April is around the same time where this whole thing where uh, the Hadley situation is transpiring. Also, they used that frivolous lawsuit to try to defame you in their case, and then now
In
she's,
February,
no, no,
right
no, no,
after
no,
I was.
no, no, no. They. I'm saying they. No, I'm tying in some other stuff. I'm just saying how I'm looking at everything is. Yeah, everything happened after February.
After
So
Mar-a-Lago, after February 18th, after I was
so
awarded Defender of Freedom.
so Ariel Mitchell came into the picture and added you to a suit that we've already proven that you couldn't have been there. So,
Yeah, but let's
what's
just
going
be
on with
honest.
that?
It wasn't just, they came up, they invented a Jane Doe and a John Doe. Where are they?
Yeah, no, they don't. They need to make themselves.
Where's the
They need to
Jane
present
Doe and the
themselves.
John Doe? Because whoever the Jane Doe and the John Doe is, I need to sue them.
Yeah, they need to present themselves. That's pretty much
I
what needs to
need to
happen.
sue them because they lied and said that I came to Las Vegas to put them in a car with somebody that I don't know and take them across state lines to California, all the way up to the Bay, so that I could demand that Diddy and friends harm Ashley Parham with a remote control. This Jane Doe and John Doe, mother and son.
They need to present themselves.
No, it's time for them to present themselves. And it's interesting because I hope that Ariel Mitchell doesn't think that just because she let Drewski off the hook after Drewski came with evidence proving recently that he wasn't in there. Because I don't know if you guys have heard. People like talking about a lot of lawsuits and they like attaching my name to a lot of crazy things, but that's another update that we have.
Well, should we
The
show them or no?
lawsuit, yeah, let's show 'em. Let's show 'em.
I'll do it like this because I
See,
don't.
I was added to the lawsuit. Drewski was added to the lawsuit. Odell Beckham was added to the lawsuit. And big homie CC.
This is a little bit of what. Well, I'm trying to show it, but
There
long
it
story
is.
short,
You got to
that
keep it
there's
close to your body.
okay. There we go. There's stuff in the works. I'll just say it like that. That's all I can say. This is called a declaration, and that's all that matters. You were not there, and we're going to get down to the deeper meaning of why they even included you in this. Why? Um, you have no connections to Diddy.
At
I'm,
all.
but I'm able to prove that Ariel Mitchell has connections to Jay Z
And Rock
and
Nation.
Rock Nation. That so the rabbit hole gets deep. Y'all want to keep? We gonna go. Y'all want to play? We're gonna go.
See, it's time for that Jane Doe and John Doe to make themselves known. Because now that one person that they added, because this is who they added. Now, one person has been removed. And now that Drewski has been removed, as you just saw, there's more paperwork coming from another litigant that shouldn't have been added to that lawsuit. While Diddy is suing you and Courtney Burgess for 100 million, why don't y'all do more videos on Courtney Burgess? I'm kidding. Why don't y'all? Y'all want to talk about Jag said Jag was at the Diddy and Jag said she had this and Jag said she had that. You know what Courtney Burgess said?
Hmm.
Courtney Burgess said that he saw me on the Diddy tapes that he had in his possession.
he's going to have to answer to that too.
He said that he saw me assaulting my own son in a Diddy video that he had in his possession that he got from Kim Porter. That's what Courtney Burgess said. Why don't y'all ever talk about that? Maybe, maybe because it happened over there on Sean Atwood's channel and he took down all of that content so he wouldn't have to be legally liable after he got paid for passing all of that shwill and poisoning and tainting the American jury pool from Europe. Well, from Great Britain. I'm curious. Y'all always want to talk about me. Why don't y'all want to talk about Courtney? Now Diddy came out, he's suing Ariel and Courtney for 100 million. And ain't none of y'all doing videos about that. Why not? A couple of content creators announced that the lawsuit was happening, but ain't nobody talking about it. How not? That's big news. But see, now that Drewski has been dismissed from the case, huh, and they were all added by this mystery Jane Doe and John Doe. I tell you one thing, once they are forced to remove me from that case, because that's going to happen. I wonder how the rest of these fake ass lawsuits that they want to put against me is going to play. Hmm? I'm curious because, see, that's a big one. And once my name is removed, Ariel Mitchell is going to look like the biggest fraud in America. Because Drewski came with evidence, and we have evidence that there's absolutely no way. And they did it all with a mystery Jane and John Doe. Now, the way that Lamisha Fuller ran around here on YouTube, insisting that she was the girl in the DNG shirt, which forced Anna Kane out of her Jane Doe status, and then made it possible for her identity to be flagged to the entire public so weirdos like Andre Turner Jr. could sit there and talk about her and disgrace her and defame her and call her all kinds of whores and sluts and bad mothers, and how she was nothing but a gold digger and her story and her claims were not real, like all of that. I think it's time for Ariel Mitchell's Jane Doe and John Doe. I think it's time for them to come forward. Because now there's two people that y'all added to Ashley Parham's lawsuit, which, by the way, was a real Diddy victim, is a real Diddy victim. The things that happened to her. And guess what? Adding me, adding Drewski, adding Odell Beckham, adding Big Homie CC devalued her entire case, which is funny because Ariel's whole position is supposed to be a Diddy Avenger, and she's trying to take Diddy down, and she's gonna sue Diddy, and Diddy is this and Diddy is that. So tell me something. Why would you have a real Diddy victim and you tank her case and make it impossible for her to be able to testify at their trial? Why would you do that? Because all that did was help Diddy.
Yep.
Why would you be
Who would have a
helping?
who would have a vested interest in helping?
Oh, I know who would have a vested interest in helping. The Jigga Man would definitely have a vested interest in helping the diddler get off so that he didn't derail the entire entertainment industry and they all get trapped up on a Rico. You get Alex Spiro to come on to TV and say, yeah, we're not friends, so you don't get looked at for that Rico while you're sitting there fighting off the lawsuit with Tony Buzz being the autistic victim, which, by the way, that ain't over. That ain't over. Welcome to Jag Nation, Kathy. That ain't over. You tried to sue for defamation and, and, and extortion, and it got thrown out with a lengthy reason as to why, which means your claims that they were lying were not believed. Everybody remember in this timeline? Is everybody looking at this timeline? While that's going on, Ashley Parham's case had already been presented right after I did Pierce Morgan. Why would Ariel Mitchell Kidd intentionally tank a case with a real Diddy survivor? If she hate the diddler so much and she want to see him go down, that don't make no sense.
No, not at all.
You know what though? I heard tell word on the street. I wasn't there and I don't know. And I wasn't there. It's proven. I was nowhere near that crime. I was in Chicago fighting a case that I beat. No, they prosecute. All praises be to God. 180 court documents and a public defender. And I beat the state's attorney's office. Now, let's be clear. I hear tell that the Jigga Man might have had something to do with that one as well.
Mm,
Allegedly.
mm, mm. Let's not kick the let's not kick the chair.
And then considering all of this weirdo stuff that's going on here on YouTube. And then we got Palantir
Mm,
was also mentioned in that lawsuit
mm.
as helping cover it up. The same Palantir that Nick Fuentes has been talking about and linking to Candace Owens and her husband through Tucker Carlson and Mr. Teal.
The rabbit hole gets deep.
Same Palantir. Surveillance company. Oh yeah, Rob. See, I remember this other pervert weirdo that they tried to attach to me earlier this year. Didn't work. But I'll never forget he was sitting with the messy sweet spot when I first got added to that lawsuit and was trying to convince me that I needed to be worried for my safety because Palantir was involved in this lawsuit and they're real heavy hitters and they know how to make people disappear. And I said very simply, I believe in God. I have nothing to worry about. I wasn't there and I didn't do it. And they can't prove that I did. And guess what? Right after that, shout out to Kadisha Lynn. She went and got my jail record from Chicago, proving that I was in jail when they said I was there. She was the first content creator, I believe, to expose that. And she did that in like 48 hours. While the rest of the content creators were trying to run around and make a headline out of the fact that I was working for Diddy and that I helped brutalize that young woman. I think even Murad made mention that my name was added to it. You want to know what? I don't remember any of the content creators that passed that swill around apologizing to me for passing on that lie without properly vetting it.
No, nor did they retract, nor did they
I don't remember any of them
sit out
doing a
there.
retraction either, including
Just
Ticket
let it sit out
TV,
there.
who
Yeah.
seems to be very Rock Nation friendly. Hmm.
So for 6 months, your name has been
Defamed.
involved in something, defamed,
I
slandered,
got
and
PTSD,
and for
emotional
6 months,
distress.
for 6 months,
It's cost me work. I'm a public figure. Yeah, I need that Jane Doe and that John Doe to come out the woodwork.
that you need to sue them for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we got some good attorney friends, and it's a lot that I guess these people that want to play these games, let them keep playing because a lot of times just sit back. We don't say nothing. You don't acknowledge anything, and we just work. And then we got more and more people that are really helping behind the scenes. It's about to get real nasty.
This is what
Real
they
dim.
do. Y'all see, y'all been worried about trying to pin something on me. I'm gonna put something on y'all. Something real. Now the question is, once this happens, what's that going to do to the credibility of Rock Nation mentioning my name in anything regarding sanctions or contempt? I'm mentally unwell.
So you
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 better
you're
pray
looking
to
at about
God. You better pray to God. You better pray to God. That's what I know.
you're looking at hundreds of millions of dollars of I mean,
Damages.
I'm saying, ugh.
Damages. And yet all of this Rock Nation collusion. Because what it would mean is Rock Nation has been coming after me and trying to destroy me long before the Demore Hadley case came along.
No, this isn't an overnight thing. This is something that has been coordinated, in my opinion, and orchestrated. That's why I said you pay attention to the timeline of when one defamation suit came out against you, and then you pay attention to the timeline of when someone tried to include you in a lawsuit. And then there's just a lot. But it's all tied to. Is it tied to Trump? Is it tied to them? Yeah, hmm, very interesting.
Very pop. What is this, Mo Gigi? Listen to me. You ain't got to tell me, Mel. It's trifling. Very possible the
Okay.
Jane and John Doe is a couple of YouTube content creators that have been hovering around here allegedly. Ooh,
Ooh. Well, we're
ooh,
gonna find out because they're gonna have to reveal themselves.
ooh.
That's what's gonna have to happen. They're gonna have to reveal themselves.
Yeah, it sounds like the Jigga Man and the Diddler. They've been friends all along. That's what it feels like to me. They staged that breakup so that it would be on the record so that somebody didn't get added to that RICO before the trial happened. And then meanwhile, people are working in the backdrop trying to do a whole bunch of craziness. That's what it sounds like to me. And you know, That would mean that Rock Nation has been coming for me for a lot longer than I've been working the Demore Hadley story. And what's funny is I didn't even come after Rock Nation. All I did was report the facts because people needed to hear what was going on. Demore's case and Javon's case is public interest, and it also, aligns up with some things that I've been experiencing. I'm just saying, y'all might want to tread lightly because it's all fun until the rabbits got the gun. It really is, billionaires and their $1 billion companies and their liquor companies and their this and their that and their so on and so forth, meddling in real people's lives, trying to destroy real people's credibility, all for the purpose of them continuing to have the ability to poison the public with their casino or wannabe casino, their liquor, they pharmaceutical, and then promoting drill culture, which is nothing more than corporate sponsored genocide.
Mm.
Thank you so much. So effing special. I thought I was too. I didn't come for that woman neck. I could have said a lot more than I said. I was very respectful. But that's what happens when you give respect to people that don't know it. It don't matter. Just don't bite it. Yeah, they never thought that hip hop would take it this far. On that note, we'll be heading over to Sutton West soon. We got a hip hop conversation to have. That's going to be interesting. Some live reaction from me, I think. That's going to be interesting.
Mhm.
But yeah, we wanted to just take a moment with you guys and get through this and get to the updates. And it's funny. They always say that I never respond to anything. We'll see what they say tomorrow. We'll see what they say the day after that. We definitely gonna see what they got to say a week from now, because I definitely have a response. So yeah, yeah, same tactic, different victims. It's always, in a whoop de whoop de
Same
whoop.
ish,
Da
different
da
way.
ba da ba da 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 da, and they dox and then they AI and they do this and about that in a land of make believe. There's a really interesting video that I saw the other day. Speaking of, Odella shared it with me. I think I'm going to put it up on the timeline. Y'all should see it. It's uh it's quite interesting regarding how real or how fake the internet is. Apparently there was a study done, and as of 2024, it is proven, verifiable data, that 51% of the internet is bots. That means more than half of the internet is fake, and it's here to influence real real people's thinking, to sway real people's minds. um Not only that, the young woman has shared some information regarding the fact that the CIA was given permission to run psyops on American citizens online as of
Yeah,
2012 when Barack Obama was in office.
under the Barack Obama administration. That's Maya News. Shout out to Maya News.
Yeah, I think we ought to share that video
Yeah.
for our people. I think they need to see it because I want y'all to understand what we're saying to you, that the Abomination administration made it legal for the CIA to run psyops on American citizens online. Meanwhile, they got a ton of AI content creators out here who are making a gang of money off of ad generated sponsored views, and they're collecting the cash.
Mm.
I want y'all to think about what we're saying. Why in God's name would a president give the CIA permission to run negative psyops on their own citizens if they weren't trying to confuse and inflame the public intentionally? Maybe that's why some of these content creators don't have a problem with getting online and doing all of the lying and all of the stalking and all of the doxing and all of the crazy stuff that they do. Maybe the reason why they feel like it's okay is because a president gave the CIA permission to do it. And if the CIA can do it, why can't they? Wah wah. Like 333. I'm just saying. The stuff that Chat GPT has been saying about all of this is very worrisome. Yeah. CIA tactics. Yeah, for what I learned. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 Haven't I been saying it? That there's a lot of CIA op crap going on this app. I've been saying it.
That's why you gotta move. You gotta move a certain way. That's it. That's just anybody. You gotta move. Y'all gotta understand.
Mm-mm-mm. Well, on that note, we'll see you over on the
Well,
set for those of you gonna make it for a nice little hip hop conversation. Um, yeah. This has been an update. This has been a recap, and this has been a D's nuts right here. Um, yeah, some of y'all content creators, y'all should look both ways before you cross my mind. Like for real. Uh, Stop cloud chasing, stop sneak dissing, um, stick to the facts. Report what's real. And don't expect me to have a reaction to predators and PDFers. I ain't doing no reaction video. I ain't giving him no light. I ain't giving him no shine. We got too much real stuff to talk about. So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. On that note, peace. Oh, and don't forget to get your cruelty free Jag sweatshirt as soon as you can with
Oh,
special little
oh.
treats.
So everyone who gets the new one. Well, so so the prototype is what Jag got on, and what we're gonna do is I
You
got it
are
laid out.
prototype.
I got it laid out so that when you guys click on the merch, there will be new. Well, it's not. It's just gonna be. There's not gonna be like static songs and videos. It's gonna be different. We're gonna put something up all the time, something different. Um, so yeah, like
It's like
you
the gift
see
that keeps
right
on
there,
giving.
you see there's a QR code near her ear on the artwork. So if you listen and scooch it, you will see and you will hear. You just go, you might hear something different tomorrow than what you heard yesterday.
Oh,
So I
Mel
pretty much
Tucker
got it
wants to
all.
know. Mel Tucker wants to know what are the international.
What's the score with ordering? I believe it's possible, but if it's not, then what you could do is email. We could figure out because the shipping is different there. So we'll just have to figure out the shipping costs. And yeah, that's part of the reason why, number one, we appreciate y'all supporting and ordering and doing all that. But y'all also understand. And this is high quality. We're not doing anything low budget. We're trying to put out the best product that we can. But also shipping is included in that cost. So you know, anything international, if you're not able to get it, then you may just have to reach out via email. We can figure it out, and we'll go from there. But
And
yeah, just be on the lookout.
y'all need to, like, honestly, it's what we're doing with this. I think you guys are really gonna appreciate it. Where we're going with this is gonna be fantastic. And yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait until we get all the way there. I want to thank everyone who donated to the platform today, and for those who may have donated to, Cruelty Free on Cash App or on PayPal. We want to thank you. I don't know if we haven't checked it, but for those who have, we want to thank you. Right now, raising enough money to be able to get Cruelty Free off the ground is really what's most important. Um, like I said, for me, there's no going back. There's no going back to the industry. There's no going back to any of that. Somebody was like, "Oh, Jaguar Wright, she's a voice of neo soul, and she should be doing this and she should be doing that." Not for them. Not for them. Not ever again. I will never make another dollar for people who support cruelty. I will never make another dollar, never again, until I can do it myself, until we can support it and fund it ourselves. And I think we found a creative new way to raise some capital and still be able to share the art and bring. I think you guys are gonna like what it is. Trust me. You want to know how easy it would be for me to just be able to find a way to settle into a distribution deal with one of these companies. Unfortunately, these companies are all beholden to the very people that I'm boycotting, that I'm staying away from. And they make it very hard for me to be able to reach the public, because the truth is crowdsourcing is the only way for someone like me to be able to get all of this out there. Yet absolutely F the industry forever. Like I'm it's so funny listening to people. They got people out there doing all of these commercials now and running all of these little oh yeah, the industry. Oh yeah, man, I love it, man. Oh yeah, man, for the rest of my life, man, I love you. Yeah, yeah. I bet you do. I bet you do. I bet you do love it. I don't. So yeah, this is what it is. And we're really hoping that we're going to be able to have a real launch for the company sooner than later, but we have to raise capital. So we're starting here, and we have some other stuff that we're going to be doing. And it is a spider web of corruption. And the truth is one thing leads to the other, leads to the other, leads to the other, which is why the entire industry was not trying to see that Rico happen with Diddy, because it's the domino effect. And then everybody gets put on blast. And then everybody looks like they've been, profiting from cruelty. And thank you, Alina. It's this is what it is. So for those of you who are really on board, for those of you who are really on this journey with us, help us keep it cruelty free. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it, right?
That's it. That's it. Yeah,
Sit over here.
y'all get on over. We're gonna get started soon on Set West. We'll dive deeper into the I'll say the resurgence of real music, because yeah, it's a whole lot that needs to be discussed. Like real artistry, real talent, showcasing your talent, and how to do it now that you have the tools to do it without the middleman. That's the middleman.
I know, Alina. There's so many people that this business has harmed, and they work really hard to try to pretend like that's not real, and it is real. And that's why we thank you all for being here and for spreading the word. Please share this live, make sure it gets out. And yeah, we'll see you over on Set in West. And replay gang. Let's get it up. Let's get it up. Make sure we're liking in and out. Thank you for the over 700 likes. Appreciate all of you. Let's get it to 1K. You know how they are. If we don't got 1K, we struggle in the algorithm. They be working too hard to stop us. So, and salute to Jay Mizak. Thank you for showing up with your wrench. Thank you for helping out. All right, guys, we out of here. Peace.